We'll see you then. It is not just the website that's drawing criticism, it's the law itself at the moment.
So what does the president need to say today to the American people and his critics in Congress? Jonathan Coleggio is a Republican strategist and director of communications for the super PAC American Crossroads, and Marjorie Clifton is a former consultant to the Obama campaign and CEO of Clifton Consulting. Great to have you both here. So, Marjorie, let me start with you. The one thing that every American knows about the Affordable Care Act is that it has a lousy website that hasn't worked well up until now. So what does the president need to say today to a skeptical American public?
Well, I think, it's better late than never, but we do need to hear about all the benefits to the ACA in general. And of course, every consumer is thinking, how is this going to impact me? And that's going to be different for every consumer, depending on where your insurance comes from. But one of the things that hasn't been talked a lot about is what it's doing for the overall cost of health care, because that's one thing that was going to sink us all, ACA or not. And what it has done is we've seen since 2010 that the Medicaid spending that's happening has actually dropped. Medicare has remained static, and overall health care spending by providers has actually dropped as well. And I think that was in preparation of this bill coming. So one of the things that the bill will do is help control costs, which needs to happen for a healthier public in general.
That may be down the road, but what about today, Jonathan? What does he say? How does he explain it? Does he put the anxieties of so many at ease?
Well, what he's going to do is he's going to bring a couple of people onto the stage who have supposedly benefited from the program. Here's the thing, we're spending $2.6 trillion on this law. I mean, I hope to heck that they can find some people who have benefited. But here's the thing, for everyone who's benefited from this law, there are literally tens of millions of people who are going to be losing their coverage, who are going to be losing their doctors. And all of that in this backdrop, the White House here is doing the exact same thing in this PR initiative that they did in 2009. They're selling this law as a free lunch, and they're ignoring the fact that it is harming literally tens of millions of people. That genie is out of the bottle. I don't think that they can put it back in, and I don't think that he can just go and sell the benefits of this thing now that everyone knows the harm that it's doing.
Marjorie, you have done a better job in 60 seconds of selling one of the merits of the Affordable Care Act than the administration has done in months. Well, they seem so reactive. Now that they're in trouble, now that they're in damage control, they're going out and they're going to be touting the benefits of it. Shouldn't they have been doing this for years?
Well, I would say yes. Apparently, I need to hike up my consulting rates.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I would say absolutely. They should have been. But again, I guess hindsight is 20/20, and right now they're gotten off the defensive and need to go on the offensive.
But that's the fault, though. I mean, they ran a terrible product for 62 days. Perhaps beyond that, and that's what's clouded out a lot of the the other factors.
And I think what they have to regain is people's trust. There have been a lot of contingencies put in place with this Affordable Care Act about what ifs that go beyond the website. What if not enough healthy people register? They actually have funding in place to support those insurance companies so people don't lose it. And there's a lot of speculation. There's things we do not know until actually everything comes into effect, which is January 1 and actually has been pushed to March.
You make such a great point, Marjorie, because the other most famous thing about the Affordable Care Act is when Nancy Pelosi said, well, we have to pass it to know what's in it. It's almost as though Democrats didn't do their due diligence to figure out what exactly was in the bill. So, Jonathan, Bill raises a great question about trust. Now that the president's trustworthiness has taken a hit because of the broken promise in the Affordable Care Act, what can he do today to seem more convincing?
I disagree with Marjorie's premise. I think that they've been selling the benefits of this bill for the last 3 years and have been ignoring the human costs of this thing. And now that people know what's in the bill, now that it's being implemented, and we have 1 million people in California alone losing their health insurance, people know what's in the law and they know that it's harming people. And people, independents especially, these are the people that sided with Obama in 2012. They are coming to the position that this bill, this law needs to be if not repealed, it needs to be dismantled.
How's that private sector velocity working out for you guys?
Well, Jonathan, you must have a crystal ball.
Last word, quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jonathan must have a crystal ball, because there's a lot, I think, that people don't know, Republican or Democrat, about what's in it. And again, that's where this consumer education is needed.
All right, Jonathan, Marjorie, always great to have you guys on.
Thank you. Private sector, work on that PSV, you two, okay? See you later. Right now, awaiting remarks from the president from the White House on the Affordable Care Act. He